Welcome back to The Watch, and today we are watching, well, Disney stock. It seems to be hitting a 9-year low.
It's just going to keep going, isn't it?
Yeah. So last week, or whenever it was, it hit a 9-year low at $84 or something like that, which put it even behind things like Netflix and stuff. Now,
and can I just say as well, Netflix is probably one of the worst stocks you can ever invest in because it feels like whenever I check on stocks, because I do check on stocks now and again, Netflix is always like at a negative.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And the fact that Disney is lower than Netflix, that's like, well, not good.
I would say, in my uneducated opinion, the reason why Netflix always seems to be losing is because it hit like full market saturation, which doesn't really happen very often for a company. So when it hits like as many people as humanly possible, you can only technically go down.
Yeah, no, I agree.
With Disney though, it's interesting because there's a lot of factors why the stock would be going down. Like, what would you say some are off the top of your head?
I would say their movies.
Yep.
They're sinking a lot of cash into them, not making a return on them.
Yep.
I'd also say their parks are probably, they've like upped the prices on things. People aren't visiting as often. There's been controversy on things. Like I remember someone proposed and then they like interrupted. Like there's been lots of bad PR over Disney in their parks as of late. And there's
Star Wars Cruises was a good example.
Star Wars Cruises also.
Like $4,000 a night. It's like, how many people do you know that could spend $4,000 a night?
And who like also are the specific genre of like Star Wars fans who are the sequel stuff, not the like, you know, prequels, original trilogy or whatever. It's like, this is the newer stuff. And as well, just all of their choices in terms of how they market their films. What their actors say, what the CEO says.
There's also been, keep in mind that this year there actually hasn't been that many MCU movies.
No.
There's been, Ant-Man, and I know there's more. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but I know there hasn't been many.
What came after Ant-Man, everyone?
There's only been a couple this year. Let's put it that way. Usually they would have, 3-4 releases of Marvel movies.
We've had lots of Disney shows as well for them. That other thing is probably Disney as well, Disney Plus.
Right.
That's been a big sink. Like I know a lot of shows. I can't remember what show. There's been a few who've been. I know Spiderwick is one of the new ones. They finished filming that movie or TV series for Disney Plus. But they're not going to put it on because it's a loss for them.
Right.
So they're going to go buy it from someone else.
Keep in mind, there was also Willow that they put on and then they removed because it literally wasn't even worth the server space, it seems. So,
which is insane to me.
Yeah, it is. Because it's a fully made show. Like
you would kind of think if people are going to go watch it and therefore they're subscribing to watch that thing, then the service should even out to, okay, you're watching... it's a weird business move, I think.
It just must have meant that, like, literally nobody was watching it. Which, I mean, it's hard to argue with that because there's literally no other reason why you would take a show off, unless, like, copyright or whatever. But so no Marvel movies. The movies that they have been putting out have been super expensive to make. Take, like, Indiana Jones, like, nearly $500 million or something to make. It's crazy numbers. Then we have not many releases of things, and then things flopping when they have been released. It's been a tough year for Disney just in terms of releases. In terms of how much money they make.
And I think so part of this is built up from a lot of the restrictions they had back in the 2020 days, early 2020s, in terms of what they could and couldn't do. So there's been lots of backlog of like, okay, work they have to catch up on and whatever. But now I think as well with the actors and writers strike, that's going to be another hit to their pockets. Right. Although they're saving money in a way by not hiring those people to do those things, I feel there's going to be a giant gap in the market for a couple of months until they, hire people who aren't from the unions or, find ways around it.
Well, this is a little tangential. This isn't really related to Disney, but related to the strike thing. Things like Dune, one of the only movies that you and I have been looking forward to the entire year, has been delayed. But
it's finished.
Yeah, it's finished. It's like we want to see it, and I was actually pumped to look for it. All of us have been pumped to look for it. And it's like, well, it's delayed. And why? Because you need the actors promoted. It's like, but I don't care about your actors. Dune is good. Trust me, Dune's fine. You can put it out. Nobody cares about what the actors have got to say.
I think maybe the only thing that was stopping them is like contractual agreements of like part of my paycheck is coming from doing marketing, but I'm not going to work right now, so I can't. Like it's a weird loophole, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
maybe. But at the same time, that's annoying for us because it's like the one good thing we could have watched, we can't watch now.
That's not Disney though.
No, that's not Disney. Not yet. I think the other thing as well is how much Disney was on a buying spree for so long. Like they had a net positive, and then they bought 20th Century Fox, which came with a whole bunch of baggage. They bought Lucasfilm. They bought Marvel previously. And the funny thing is, so with Marvel, they've made money back from it.
Oh yeah, of course.
So they've grown it. But stuff like Lucasfilm, and I would even say 20th Century Fox, is that they maybe, I know with Lucasfilm they've lost money. They haven't made enough money back to actually, because they paid like, how much was it for?
$4 billion.
It was like $4 billion. They have not made that back because they're also spending money to make those new shows. 20th Century, because it's both TV and film, and more properties, I guess. So you get stuff like merchandising or whatever, you get money back from that. But I feel like they've gone on a big spending spree, and now they're like, well, it's empty. Oh no, what do we do now? And so they're trying to like bring back the money they've now spent.
Well, I do think it is kind of like the Netflix thing where we've reached market saturation of Disney. Like everybody knows what Disney is. Yeah. Everybody who wants to sign up to Disney has already signed. Like you'd be hard pressed to find someone who isn't aware of Disney or hasn't like signed up if they are aware of Disney and they like Disney, obviously. Yeah. So the only thing that can happen is you can kind of just lose subscribers or, you know, whatever they're called.
You're going to lose now. When you're the top dog and you've reached your peak, now it's time to go downhill. And
especially when Disney's been so infuriating to like large
all the consumers. All the consumers, basically.
Yeah. Like every live action that they announce they do, people collectively go, please don't. We don't
want Lion King. We don't want Jungle Book. We don't want Little Mermaid. We don't want all the Disney princess stuff. Like, and yet they still keep doing it.
But I just thought it would be interesting to talk a little bit about Disney and some of their losses, because we've spoken about it in a previous video, how I think it was like Little Mermaid didn't make money. I think the Elemental one,
apparently that has made money now.
Internationally or something like that. But there's a whole long list of like films that have not made back their budget this year, and they've taken a lot of L's lately, and I feel like this is just another one with their stock price hitting a 9-year low, which is crazy because we've moved off from like all the Marvel hype and worldwide phenomenon of every single Marvel movie crossing like $1 billion. Now it's like there are misses when it comes to Marvel movies. People, if they don't care,
it was Guardians. That was the other movie we saw this year. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that was. And that was a mid movie.
Yeah, it was mid. I didn't like the ending. It was such a... I didn't like the ending.
Yeah, it wasn't. And people weren't as excited to come. Anyway, so there's stuff like...
there's been something else, though. Sorry to cut you off. I think there's something else that came out from Marvel. I just feel like we haven't
watched TV shows. Like there was Secret Invasion that came out.
Yeah, people didn't like it.
The Marvels are coming out later this year.
Right.
She-Hulk was not this year.
Wasn't it?
No, it was last year.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, Guardians and Quantumania were not good. And I feel like, I wonder what they were betting on. I wonder if they're like, okay, because our parks are doing okay, because we have this and that, because we bought 20th Century Fox and therefore we're getting their money now too, we can like maybe push more agenda stuff in Marvel or in Star Wars. But now because those other things have fallen...
See, I don't understand. It's like if they were going to push anything into anything, I thought they would do it at the height when there's just so many people it wouldn't matter if you lost a couple. But now they're doing it at the tail end of that sort of stuff where people are like, okay, this doesn't... It's like when Endgame and Infinity War were coming out, remember how important it was? Like everybody's like, yeah, we're going to see that. Yeah. And it's like, well, those are past now. Yeah. So now it's like, well, I don't really care about Ant-Man. I don't really care about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah. So I don't have to see them. So if you start pushing stuff in them, I just go... I'm good. I don't care.
I know a lot of people online as well have been saying that the people's mentality has changed because with Endgame, right, Disney Plus wasn't out, and if it wasn't as frequently used. Like it had Star Wars, it had old Disney movies, that was kind of it. Where now it's like when a Pixar movie comes out, you can watch it in the cinema now, or you can wait 2 months and watch it on Disney.
Yeah.
And you can either wait another couple of months and get it for free, or you can pay like $7, which is cheaper than most movie tickets now. And so there's also this element of, I think that's why, you know...
I hate that business practice.
I hate it too, but I think that's why...
You pay for the subscription. It's like, oh, but if you want this new thing that we've made...
pay an extra, like, double the price you're paying already.
It's like, what? Like, there's a reason why streaming services, the Netflix, they make new shows to go onto the service that you're already paying.
Exactly. But like that's why I think movies like Top Gun and the Mission Impossibles and Dungeons and Dragons have done a lot better, is because people weren't assuming it's going to go on Disney Plus a month later. That's also like an element of like cinemas. And the thing is with Disney, there is as a giant corporation, they're losing money, but it's funny how they're cutting money in the wrong places as well. Like they'll fire all the lower tier park employees, you know, the ones who sweep the floors and mop and clean. You know, those people are kind of needed to make your park run, and yet you won't cut more middle managers or more paperwork, or the like sensitivity people are probably the higher for like each rewriting of the films they make. Like I feel like also they're greatly mismanaged in what they are putting their resources to, which is what happens when you become such a big monopoly that is Disney.
I would also say, now the more that I think about it, every Disney film or every Disney property that I watch that's the new stuff, it's just all the same.
Yeah.
Like it just all feels the same. It all kind of looks the same.
I think it's very lazy and they don't take any risks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's the simple, clear-cut way of saying it. Of like they're lazy and they don't take risks.
Yeah. But this has just been a short, quick video. Oh, did you have something else?
There was another thing that happened with Disney. Apparently, the VFX artists that work for, or they were being contracted by Disney are unionizing as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's good.
previous video we did on like the dark side of Disney and like how they blacklist studios and people being overworked and underpaid and whatever. They're all starting a union now, and that's another thing Disney has to deal with, because like a lot of their MCU and even like Indiana Jones, so much of it is just based on VFX and getting everything is just CGI now. And so having companies like that being like, actually, no, we are going to be a union now, that's also going to make them sweat too, because then that's one less group of people that can't take advantage of because of laws.
Actually, there's also something I forgot as well. I don't think we did. I think we were going to do a dedicated video on it, but we didn't get around to it. Is that they're being sued for self-dealing, for basically giving good prices to subsidiary companies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're getting sued. I think twice.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I think twice for like shareholders and stuff like that. So Disney has...
Isn't it funny how they brought on Bob Iger to come fix everything? And you know what? Maybe it's not the last guy's fault. Maybe it's the new guy's fault, or the guy that was before the previous guy.
This is all Bob Chapek's fault.
Yeah, Chapek's fault. Yeah. The one that like made Bob Iger's plan. He was following orders, wasn't he? Yeah. It's all his fault. Oh.
But there just been a short, quick video. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Disney. We love talking about Disney here.
We do. We love.
There's always something to talk about Disney. And you see, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if they just weren't such pricks about the things they do. It just, whatever. It is what it is.
They just can't read the room.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Did you want to take us out, Nathan?
Sure. If you enjoy the content, then please do support us. There's links in the description if you like this content. Check out some of the other videos as well about Disney and a plethora of other things. We talk about many things here on The Night's Watch. And as always, stay on watch.